See? Get it down. Come on, baby. Come lay down. It's okay. Go lay down. Go, go, go. I'll give you some later now. Go on. Go on. It's okay. Go on. What? You already ate. What? Okay, just a minute. Stop. Peanut, okay. Hold on. Okay. Here you go. There you go. Come on. Enjoy. Eat up, girly. Is that the camera at the cottage? Probably just the heat came on, right, or something? No? Yeah, I'm sure it's... Or our ghost. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna read now. Or a little bit, not too long, okay? Oh boy. There's some people here on the computer I don't understand. I don't understand. What does this mean? Hi, farm wife. I would never think of pranking anyone ever in my life. I just wouldn't do that. That's not me. Hi, QB. Captain Lee. Are you QB? I've got some to do that I haven't finished. I take forever sometimes. I make them, make them last for a week or 2 weeks, whatever. I just like knowing that I have them. I don't know why. It's like the big dream, Don't laugh at my hair. It's kind of sticking up today. All right. Oh, wow, Captain Lee, really? Yeah. At least you got it fixed though, right? You don't have to worry. We tried to, we wanted to get Dave's truck cleaned up for this trip coming up. But it's been raining here today, off and on, and so we didn't. He needs to get all of his junk out of it before Lexi and I can clean it. And Shelly, if you're listening, don't say Lexi. And you, aha, should we say Lexi? Have you won anything yet, QB? Cubes, have you won any on your scratch offs yet? You won anything? Hey, Whisper. Scratch off your third. I'm here, farm wife. Hi, Nicole. I got so sleepy I had to lay down. I couldn't fall asleep. And then I got cold. And I thought, I feel like reading for just a little bit. Won't be super long. Just Ruby. Cubie, I'm going to start calling you Cubes. Okay? I'm going to try to sound like I'm a real hip with it, Grandma. And I have nicknames for everybody. We got Cubes. We got Farm. We got Cap. We got Wisp. We got Nick. We got Crime. I have some fuzz from. I think it's from this. Cubes. Nick. If I can remember the names. Cubes by many. Jess Ruby. Well, let's see. What are we going to call Jess Ruby? That's kind of a shortened name as it is. Rubes. Rubes. Moo. Gelb. Or we could just call Gelb G. G-E-E. G. Everybody's getting cool nicknames today. So dumb. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna G money. I'm going to message Rams. Let her know. Come on over. Come on over and visit. Notorious MRB. I don't see Nana Patty. I see everybody saying hi. Oh, there she is. Hey, Nan. Mammy Rams. Mammy Rams. Oh, she won't like that. It's kind of cute though, Mammy Rams. Or Mammy, ma'am. Okay, Linda. First, we're going to do my granny's cookbook, which was my mom's and now mine. Some people like to listen to it. You guys, I know some of you have already heard it, but I'm going to read it anyway in the beginning. Mammy Blings. Do they still have this company, right? I always forget what the name of this is. Or wait, maybe they don't. Woman's Home Companion Cookbook. I know you guys have all seen it a bazillion times, but I love it. Yeah, I have to look. I'm looking for the cheapest now, Nicole. Whatever I can find that's the cheapest, you know? And right now, that's what they had that was on sale. You like Polar? Our sensor, our camera down at the cottage keeps going off. I guess it could be, let's see, it's 9:30 down there. I guess it could be a stray dog or something like that running around outside. Oh, I put my necklace on. I believe this cookbook is 1941, something like that, maybe even 1940. And look how thick this is, you guys. Look how thick. And look how worn. It's funny because I don't remember my mom or my granny ever using a cookbook. Isn't that funny? I know my mom, I remember, I guess my mom some, but I never saw my granny using a cookbook, and this was hers. Look, this side, this is gone, but at least the spine is still here. No. This is just my family, my granny's and my mother's, and now mine. And then when I'm gone, it will pass on to one of my daughters. They'll have to fight over it. Oh, it's heavy too, guys. It's very heavy. It has useful information, table setting, nutrition, beverages, cereals. Is easily distracted here. She loves nutrition, food history. Cereals, breads, eggs, cheese, macaroni, spaghetti, fruits, appetizers, soups, vegetables, fish, seafood, poultry, game, meat, sauces, salads, salad dressings, desserts, frozen desserts, pastry, cakes, candy, cookies, sandwiches, and preserving. And that's just all on the front cover. Look at that. And look what it says on the back. Can you guys read it? Isn't that something? Very cool, huh? Oh, farm wife. Yes. Now, my granny's name is written in the front here, but I don't remember that being my granny's writing. This looks more like my mother's writing. I'm sure it does. It looks, see, her name is in the front. My granny's written there in ink. But I'm thinking my mom wrote that because it looks like my mom's handwriting. And then here is a dumb kid writing in here. And you need muscles to open, to hold this thing. And writing right here from a dumb kid. And the next page. Some of the pages I'm noticing all of a sudden are like they're burnt at the top, kind of. Look, see that right there? And how it has a little piece taken out. And I don't know. I'm noticing more about this book the more I look at it. Okay, the foreword in the book. It has, hasn't it, Nicole? We'll start at the foreword, which I've read before, but I'm going to read it again because I like it. Those of us fortunate enough to grow up in the lee of a mother, you never really hear that, Lee, in the lee of a mother, who cooked and enjoyed cooking, have stored away in our memory, ready to pop out at the first whiff of cinnamon, the first floating fruity aroma of vanilla, such riches as no magic carpet, no Aladdin's lamp could begin to compete with. Who that has eaten thick, soft, spicy molasses cookies, fresh from the oven, always with an inexplicable flake or two of flour on top, who would trade them for Midas's gold? Who would not long for a birthday twice a year instead of a measly once when it traditionally produced a 3-layer coconut cake stuffed with squashy, undependable, cream-colored filling for 2 stories, topped with snow white, inches-high frosting, in turn hidden under streamers of the coconut itself? Try belonging to a family whose brag it is that they eat more onions in a week than the neighbors buy in a month. Hi, Kathy. I've never heard that, but yeah, that's what they say in the lee of a mother. I don't know, QB, you're the teacher. Can you look it up and put the definition in here? I'm going to say like in the home of a mother or something like that, who you observed and she helped you cook or whatever, you learned from her. That's all I don't know. I really don't know. Hi, Shay. But maybe you could look it up, Miss Teacher. You're supposed to know that. Have a grandfather who teaches you at 8 years old how to broil a steak to suit his demanding tastes. Sit down at a tender age on Saturday nights to baked beans, coleslaw, and apple pie with the crust taken off. I hate when I lose the place. With the crust taken off, the apples beaten up and seasoned, and the fragile, humpy circle put back on. usually still whole. Follow that all the late spring with Sunday night supper, soft shell crabs. Easily distracted, I just asked where you were. We're reading from 1940, my granny's cookbook, and then to my mom, and then came to me. My mother passed in October 2018. So a few months later, or whenever, maybe a year later, my dad gave me this. Let's see. Okay, soft shell crabs. Jess Ruby. Protecting shelter. That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say in the, like under the wing, because that's what I was thinking. But yeah. Glad you're here. Easily distracted. Okay. Soft shell crabs, hot baking powder biscuits, and strawberry shortcake. The biscuits hot, the berries smashed, the cream touched up with that very vanilla. Go away to school and be followed by boxes ingeniously packed with a beef loaf in a fitted pan, a jar of red and green pepper relish, buttressed by cracked hickory nuts instead of Excelsior. Find yourself at last in your own kitchen, the stove here, the pantry staples there, and a noble volume devoted to the art of cooking in your eager, grasping hand. Here, you feel, is where I come in. This is where the fun begins. Oh, I forgot to tell Davida. And so, dear reader, it is. Into the making of this book have gone years of work and a sound background of science. Many willing hands have made these recipes before they found their way into print. Much thought has been spent on reducing difficulties to ease, on finding shortcuts to sure results. The companion cookbook reaches you with our world at war. More than ever, food, carefully chosen, properly prepared, is important. More than ever, we are blessed to live in a country producing such variety and abundance of food for its people. More than ever before, perhaps we can read the old grace before meals. Bless, O Lord, this food to our use and us to thy faithful service. And that was written by this foreword by Willa Roberts, editor, Woman's Home Companion. Oh, wow. Really, Nicole? Hey, JP. I'm in the hospital and surgery won't be till Friday unless I need work. I might play this May. Your story. Aw. Very nice. I hope your surgery goes well. It will. You're going to be just fine. We'll be praying for you. Does anybody know if the Woman's Home Companion is still around? Is that a company? Woman's Home Companion. I think that might be a magazine or something now. Not sure. Or used to be. Okay, introduction now. The readers of the Woman's Home Companion are enthusiastic cooks. For years, they've been urging the editors to publish a comprehensive cookbook that could be kept on their permanent reference shelf. This book is the answer to their request. It is much more than a cookbook. It has been planned to be a miniature kitchen encyclopedia. a book that will be useful to everybody, from the young bride to the older, more experienced homemaker. Okay, QB. It solves problems for families on small food budgets and supplies unlimited ideas for those who have larger ones. Each recipe has been tested and retested. There are about how many recipes? Hey, Sherry Shirley. Remember this, if we ever have a test, there are about 2,600 recipes in all. My hands are like ice. 42 here. I mean, that's normal, but wow, I don't know why I've gotten so. I hate when I get cold like that. Many of them follow the master or basic recipe plan, in which ingredients and a standard method of preparation are given, accompanied by simple variations. This involves the learning of only one recipe, yet by making some very simple changes or substitutions, many others can be easily worked out. For example, once you learn the procedure for making rich yeast rolls, you will be able to make 20 or more different kinds of rolls from the same recipe. Once you master the technique of mixing a plain butter cake, your reputation for a dozen other cakes will be assured. Recipes have been printed in a form voted the most helpful by the readers of the Woman's Home Companion. At a glance, you will be able to tell what ingredients you must gather together before you begin to prepare any particular recipe. When you have done that, it is a simple matter to follow the brief step-by-step instructions. In the opening chapter are assembled all the fundamental facts you need to know about the preparation and cooking of good food: time and temperature charts, tables of measures and of food equivalents, marketing information, lists of kitchen equipment, meat carving diagrams, and a glossary of cooking terms are indispensable tools for the competent homemaker. And now today, all they have to do is Google, right? That's all we have to do. Hi, Jen Grill. Thank you for coming to listen. Table setting and decoration are discussed in the second chapter. There you will find the rules for a formal dinner party if you feel the yearning to give one. But far more space is devoted to the type of entertaining most hostesses and guests preferred today. Those simple, informal parties at which everybody can relax and have a good time. But don't think the amenities of everyday living have been neglected. Service with and without a maid, the proper arrangement of silver, centerpieces for Christmas, and other festive occasions are described with the common sense that modern living conditions demand. The chapter on nutrition and meal planning represents the latest thought of the best nutritionist. It will help you to plan meals that will keep your family in good health and spirits. I don't have any. They are starting to warm up a little, though. I'll try to remember that. Ginger shot. Okay. No, I don't think it sounds silly. For two reasons, the subject of meats and meat cookery is covered by one of the largest chapters in the book. First, meat is the backbone of practically all dinners and of many luncheons and suppers. Secondly, the changes that have taken place in meat cookery methods, particularly in broiling and roasting, during the past few years, deserve to be explained and charted in a good deal of detail. The newer methods produce moisture roast and reduce shrinkage. At the same time, they really save fuel. All photographs, both in color and black and white, were made expressly for this book. There are 24 pages of beautiful color illustrations and 27 pages of black and white photographs. The serial pictures of the serial pictures of processes reveal the tricks with which expert cooks use to produce flaky pastry, flaky muffins, and biscuits of superlative tenderness. In closing, we wish to make acknowledgement to Marjorie Hostetter, Bachelor of Science, Columbia University, for her capable work as food specialist for the book. To her assistants, Viano Pertula Pope, Bachelor of Science, Cornell University, and to Olivia C. Brockman. Do you think any of these women are still alive? Special thanks are due Helen C. Otis. She's a BA, Smith's College, Associate Editor of the Woman's Home Companion, for her inspiring services as Editorial Director. To Dr. Clara May Taylor, PhD, Columbia University, for her valuable help on the nutrition chapter. We also wish to thank the several home economists who read copy for the chapters in this book devoted to their special food fields. Boy, they went a lot of work for this, didn't they? Hi, Davita. So they read the chapters devoted to their special food fields to make sure they were correct. Thank you, whisper to me. Credit for the beauty of the book goes to the Woman's Home Companion's Associate Art Director, George Finnegan, and to Martin Bruel, member of the Society of Photographic Illustrators, who made all photographs. That is from Dorothy Kirk, Foods Editor, Woman's Home Companion. And then in small print, they're thanking other companies and everything. And then here's the wartime postscript. As this book goes to press, our country is at war. Inevitably, certain food shortages will develop. We may not be able to buy our usual amount of sugar, nor the full line of canned foods to which we have become accustomed. But take it in stride. Out of the more than 2,500 recipes in this book, they just said 2,600, didn't they? Tracy, reading Granny and my mom's and now mine cookbook, the one you love so much. Hi, Shelley Ellis. See, Tracy? I just felt like reading it again. I know we've already heard this, but so what? Out of the more than 2,500 recipes in this book, there are hundreds that will meet your needs. If, for example, you haven't enough sugar to make fruit tort, there is a delicious cabinet pudding using only 2 tablespoons of that precious ingredient. If your budget won't allow a sirloin steak, there's an appetite-teasing T-bone steak, family style. Remember before we said, but T-bone's better part of the meat, better cut, isn't it? I don't know. I guess it's changed. I don't know. If your busy schedule doesn't allow time to make yeast red orange bread, there's a quick one that uses baking powder. Above all, study the chapter on nutrition and meal planning. It will show you how to plan meals by a sound, easy method that will keep your family in top health. A healthy nation is the best contribution our homes can make to our war effort. Let us make it constantly, consistently, and cheerfully. I bet Davita's thinking just what I am about that last chapter. Okay, and then they give illustrations, a list of the illustrations, what they call it. I mean, it's really neat. I hate constantly picking this up, though, because I don't know, I just really don't want the spine to come off. Let's see. Chapter 1, Useful Information. Oh, wow. I'd love to have a copy of that. I really, really would. Yes. Please, yes. Please. I would love it. Somebody else is supposed to send me something like that. Is it Doors of Perception? She had a relative in the Holocaust. But that last page, Davita, you know what I'm talking about, right? Sounds like it could be appropriate for today in the very near future. The experienced friend who knows by the feel, when the dough is right and advises you to put in, about as much butter as you think you need, has been the despair of many a beginner. But to the pages of this cookbook, the beginner may turn with all the confidence she dares, not place in the too casual advice of her friends. The recipes will turn out well for expert and beginner alike, provided the directions are faithfully followed. Every effort has been made throughout the book to explain in detail the processes involved in each phase of cooking. In addition, certain general information bearing upon many phases has been gathered together in this chapter for handy reference whenever the cook is in doubt. And then using the recipe, it says, read the recipe carefully, then assemble all equipment and ingredients. Ingredients marked optional are desirable additions to the recipe, but are not necessary to its success. Substitutions are sometimes given in the recipe itself. Other general rules for substitutions are listed on page 6. The experienced cook, of course, will recognize other omissions and substitutions. Hi, little lady. Which may be made when an ingredient listed in the recipe is not available. Most recipes are planned for 6 or 6 to 8 average servings. It should be understood that the number of servings does not necessarily mean the number of persons served. 6 servings will serve only 3 people if they all have a full-sized second serving. Let's see. And then they just go on and on about sugar, brown sugar, measuring ingredients, measuring equivalents. Here's a picture. You know, this book had to be started in the 1930s, right? Because it came out in 1941, and you can tell that there was a lot of work put into this. And then they give you the common food equivalents. Substitutions, beating eggs, anything you can think of. Extracting onion juice, grinding or chopping sticky fruits, souring milk, whipping evaporated milk. Colored sugar, preparing horseradish, hard cooking egg yolks. Hi, Kevin. Seasoned flour, cutting butter for table use, blanching and toasting nuts, baking, frying in deep fat, practical tests for oven temperature. The well-equipped kitchen. Let's see what they say, okay, for the well-equipped kitchen. See if it's changed at all today. I don't think it'll be changed too much, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. And let's see, I've been on for 42 minutes. I'm going to stay on just a little bit longer. Did you, Kevin? It's went up to 43. It was just 42. Hence this, my little, cardigan, which will be coming with me on the trip just in case. Got to be prepared. Okay, for essentials, it says you need glass measuring cup for liquids to measure 1 cup or more. You need a nest of 4 measuring cups for dry ingredients and solid fats, set of measuring spoon, and then desirable but not necessary kitchen scales for weighing. Okay, your preparation equipment. The essential, nest of bowls, desirable but not necessary, kitchen shears. Flour sifter is essential. Not necessary is electric mixer. Oh, well, I think we like our mixers today. I just use that little hand mixer, but pastry board. Not totally necessary, a carving set. A rubber scraper is essential. Not totally necessary, a bread knife and other additional knives. A rotary egg beater, they say, is essential. Hi, Amy Lawler. I have one of those rotary things, that you would crank. I think I still have one in there. I've only used it like once. I think it's, I don't know. I don't need that. Totally not desirable, but not necessary, the pastry cloth and a cover for your rolling pin. Essential is a rolling pin. Totally not necessary, a colander. I like my colander. Okay, I'm disagreeing with them in 2 spots so far. Waxed paper and absorbent paper. Okay, this would have been before paper towels, am I right? Before they had paper towels in the homes. Not totally necessary is a pastry blender. Now it says essential are knives, paring, slicing, carving, and chopping. Not necessary is a pastry brush. Essential is a can opener. Not necessary is a nutcracker. Essential is a lemon squeezer. Not essential is scoops for flour and sugar. Essential is a sieve. Totally not necessary fancy cookie cutters. Davita's like, what? Oh, in my house, we've got those. That's necessary. Really, Kevin? I'm trying to remember if we had them as kids. I know as a teenager we did, but can't remember as a young kid. But we must have then, right? Or maybe my family just couldn't afford them or something. Who said not much has changed? Right, little lady. So far, not much, really. A strainer is essential. Totally not necessary, a funnel. And then essential is 2 spatulas, not 3 or 4. They say 2. A broad one and a narrow one. Hey, I do have those. Totally not necessary, tongs. Essential, a long-handled fork. Oh, it's probably for sticking in the roast and stuff, right? Maybe, probably. Not necessary, a pastry fluter. Essential is 2 tablespoons and a wooden spoon for mixing. Those are essential. Unnecessary, apple corer and a grapefruit corer and a ball cutter, like for in melon. Hi, Karen H. A bottle opener and corkscrew are necessary. Not necessary, a decorating set. A grater is necessary. Not necessary are miscellaneous gadgets like an egg slicer, fancy vegetable cutters, etc. And also not necessary are trays. And then the other necessary essentials are a set of shredders, a potato masher or ricer, pot holders, cooling rack, knife sharpener, salt and pepper shakers, a slotted or wire spoon, biscuit and cookie cutter, cheesecloth or other clean cloth to use for straining. And then for your food storage equipment, they say you need a bread box, a cake box, jars or cans for flour, sugar, coffee, and other staples. This was before Tupperware and all that, right? Probably. Jars or cans for flour, sugar, coffee, and other staples. But I know they would have had canisters. 1931 paper towels became popular in the home. Oh, okay. I guess our family was just too poor to get them. Hi, Margot K. Because I remember using a heck of a lot of dish towels, to wipe things up and stuff. Hi, Mama Ramblings. Mama Ramblings made it in the house. And then set of refrigerator dishes. set of refrigerator dishes, and then bowl covers, a vegetable bag or crisping pan. And then your essential cooking equipment. I'll just read all the essentials first, and then I'll do the desirable but not necessary. Carolyn, it's my granny's cookbook and my mom's and now mine. You know this well. I've shown it a lot. We're just reading through it. You didn't use them either, Karen? Yeah. Your mom had the same one, right, Carolyn? But it's gone now. Well, I wish you had it and we could sit here and we could read them together. Okay, your cooking equipment, your essentials are a 3-quart saucepan with a close-fitting cover, a 2-quart saucepan with a close-fitting cover, 2 or more saucepans that are 1 pint to 1 quart, a large kettle with a cover, 4 to 6 quarts, a heavy skillet with cover, 9 to 10 inch diameter, a skillet, 6 to 7 inch diameter, a steamer, it may be combined with large kettle, double boiler, a coffee maker, baking sheet to fit oven, 2 9-inch or 3 8-inch cake pans, 1 pie pan, preferably a 9-inch diameter, 1 loaf pan about 9.5 by 5.5 inches, 1.5 to 2 quart casserole, 1 square pan 8 by 8 by 2 inches, 1 shallow rectangle pan 9 by 12 inches or larger, 1 muffin tin, 6 custard cups, an oven thermometer if your oven does not have heat control, and an open roasting pan with a rack. Okay, your desirable but not necessary for cooking equipment are thermometers for deep fat frying, for candy and jelly, and for roast meat, a tea kettle and teapot, more saucepans and casseroles, a tube pan, a preferably 9-inch diameter, a jelly roll pan, a breadboard, a trivet, a set of steel skewers, a cake tester, tart pans, individual ramekins, scallop dishes, wooden chopping bowl and chopper, kitchen or stove clock, a toaster and waffle iron. Most people consider a toaster necessary pretty much nowadays, don't they? Or they always used to, unless we went past that now. Hi, Sandy, 10th Angel. Right, Linda Gelb? An electric grill, molds of all kinds, ring molds, fancy pudding molds, timbale molds, etc. I don't know what that is. Timbale, Kevin. Timbale. It's a mold of some kind. A griddle, an asparagus steamer, a cornstick pan, sizzling platter or plank, a minute minder, poultry pins, and scallop shells. And then it tells you about your different flours, where they come from, how they make them. It's got your all-purpose, your white wheat flours, whole grain, self-rising, pastry flour, cake flour, bread flour, rye flour, soybean flour, buckwheat flour, your rice flour, your peanut, your potato, your arrowroot, which they say may be obtained at health food stores, foreign stores such as Chinese, Swedish, etc., and large department stores in some communities. They are used in this country principally in allergic diets. And then it talks about the nutritive values of flours, which we kind of were learning that in the Little House book. And then fats, butter, margarine, lard compounds, vegetable shortenings, and oils. A good plan is to keep 3 or more kinds on hand for different purposes. Most fats should be kept in a cool, dark place or in the refrigerator in tightly covered containers to prevent them from absorbing foreign odors and flavors and keep them from getting rancid. I wanted to read that paragraph because my granny would say rancid. Oh, that's rancid. No, that's rancid. Throw it out. It's rancid. And they talk about margarine or oleomargarine. Okay, they talk about for flavor, for frying, for shortening, baking powders, canned foods. It says for canned foods, of course, it's going, their fruits are graded as fancy, choice, or standard. Vegetables are graded as fancy, extra standard, and standard. And canned foods are usually purchased by brand rather than by grade. Furthermore, the grade is sometimes not stated on the label unless it falls below the standard quality established by the Department of Agriculture, in which case the label must state below U.S. standard, low quality, but not illegal. Did you guys ever hear of that? Such products are not unwholesome or adulterated and have their place in any budget mindful market list. Well, they show you how to do it in here, Kevin. Canning. I've never heard of that, though. Below U.S. standard, low quality, but not illegal. They probably had a lot of that for when the Great Depression was going on, I would think. That's just my guess. Canned meats and meat products are not graded but must pass rigid government inspection. Canned salmon and tuna are graded according to species and color of flesh. And it says make sure, of course, read your label and everything. And then it's usually more economical to buy canned products in quantity by the case or dozen or in large cans if storage space permits. Bulging cans indicate spoilage. Return them unopened to the grocer. Dents do not indicate spoilage unless there is a leak. It is perfectly safe to leave the food in the opened can if the can is stored in the refrigerator or in a correspondingly cool place. Do you, little lady? You can every year? My parents always would can when we were young, and even when we weren't so young. My father's having another garden this year. Then they give you fundamental rules for carving. And then it's for your standing rib roast, your rolled rib roast, your blade pot roast. And here you go. Here's some illustrations. Isn't that cool? I like thinking about all the people that would have had this cookbook, and then passed it on to families, their family members or whatever. Everything, if these books could talk, right? Like Carolyn said, her mother had this cookbook. Yeah, they talk about all the different, meats and poultry, how you cook them or how you carve them, how to know if they're done or not. Here we have another kid that wrote in crayon. I hope it wasn't me. I really hope that wasn't. I don't think I would have, but you never know. Kevin, I believe this is, I think it was published in 1941. I believe that's when it came out on the, out on the market. 1940, 1941, maybe 1942, because it talks about our country had just gone to war. So, all right, little lady. It really is, Davita. It's so interesting. So much history here. Then it goes into marketing. Makes it sound really sophisticated by calling this marketing. As purchasing agent for the household, the homemaker controls the health as well as the economic resources of the family. By knowing what to buy and how, there you are.
Yeah, I ran away.
Huh?
Yeah, I ran away.
Was it cold?
Yeah.
How was your friend? How was your friend?
Good.
Yeah, I gave her that. She was hungry again.
Hi.
She just ran back home. By knowing what to buy and how to prepare it to best advantage, she keeps her family in good health. By knowing when and where to buy, she can take advantage. Oh, you're cold. Take advantage.
I know.
Of fluctuations in prices, of daily and seasonal specials.
Hi,
Thus,
guys. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Sandy. Whisper to me, Davita, Tracy, Karen H. Sherry Shirley.
Let's see.
Little lady.
Thus, making every dollar spent for food give the maximum return in value received. This careful use of food dollars often means extra money available for some other phase of family comfort and happiness. To spend wisely, the homemaker will want to know the characteristics of fresh food in their prime, as well as symptoms of age and deterioration, to know what to look for and what to avoid in choosing the Sunday roast, the company strawberries, or the family oranges. She will want to know when each fruit and vegetable is in season to get the best quality at the lowest price. If she goes a step further and finds out the locality from which the goods she buys are shipped, she may find she is paying a higher price to cover shipping costs when the same food may be available from a nearby locality. Hey, Jeannie's talking about wine. Does he? Wow. My mom collected them. She loved cookbooks. You know, there's one little, these two paragraphs here on marketing. They'd have a problem with that today. That would be struck out, and they'd have to change it to, I don't know. It couldn't just be she, you know. Can't be just she. That's a no, no, no. Um, then they tell you points to keep in mind, you know, when you're shopping. Your fruits and vegetables. Get them in season. Your grading system for your meats. Government grading and stamping has taken much of the risk out of meat purchasing. The public is assured of meat from healthy animals if it is government inspected and stamped. Any meat which comes under interstate commerce regulations must meet federal requirements. Meat sold within the state in which it was raised falls under state rather than federal supervision, but it may be inspected and stamped by the federal government if the dealer requests it. Sound, wholesome meat, which has successfully passed inspection, is stamped with a purple stamp the length of each wholesale cut. And I guess that's where we'll stop now because it's been over an hour. Okay, y'all. And thank you. Thanks for coming and listening. Oh, really? That's awesome. That's great, Nelson. You're going to be out going around every place, aren't you? You're not going to be able to hold you back now. Oh, she's going live at 9:30? I didn't know that. Okay. All right. Thank you all. See you over at Carolyn's. Bye. Bye, guys.